Good afternoon, folks. We're here in appropriations around the horseshoe, ready to work on more line items from the governor's proposed supplemental budget, LD 1995. And we'll be working from the MODOCs, both on the initiatives in section A and the language section. So before we get started, we'll go around and introduce ourselves. Representative Fay, would you like to start?
I'd be happy to. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm Jessica Fay. I represent House District 66, which is parts of the towns of Casco, Poland, and Raymond.
Representative Ducharme.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm Jack Ducharme, representing House District 111, which is Madison, Solon, and Norwich Walk.
Representative Corey.
Good afternoon. I'm Patrick Corey, represent House District 25, which is part of Wyndham.
Representative Cardone.
Hello, I'm Barbara Cardone. I represent House District 127, part of Bangor.
Representative Hymanson.
Hello, I'm Patty Hymanson. I represent House District 4, which is parts of York, Wells, Sanford, and all of Ogunquit.
Representative Millet.
Good afternoon, Someone Millet, House District 71, Norway citizen, Norway, South, West
Just stick with
Ferris,
Norway.
Waterford, and Sweden.
Representative Arata.
Good afternoon. My name is Amy Arata and I represent House District 65, which includes New Gloucester and a part of Poland.
Representative Cloutier.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kristen Cloutier. I represent House District 60, which is part of my hometown of Lewiston.
Representative Martin.
John Martin, House District 151, soon to be District 1, and that's northwestern Aroostook County.
Senator Davis.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul Davis. I represent Senate District 4, which is all of Piscataquis County, parts of Somerset and Penobscot, and the ice is still in Moosehead.
Senator Bailey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm Donna Bailey, proudly serving the people of Senate District 31, which is Saco, Old Orchard Beach, Hollis, Leamington, and part of Buxton.
And my co-chair, Representative Peirce.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm Teresa Peirce. I represent House District 44, which is the majority of Falmouth. I serve as the House Chair of AFA, and I wish I could say the forsythias were blooming in my community, but they are not.
My name is Kathy Breen. I represent 6.5 communities in Cumberland County. I serve as Senate Chair of Appropriations. Thank you to Maureen and Judith for getting us set up for today. And I think we're going to do what we have done in the past, which is start with unvoted Part A initiatives, MODOC, and we'll go through those. And then we will loop back and go through some language parts. And Representative Peirce will make the motions. Representative Millet will second. We'll get started. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We'll start on page 1 of the MODOC, line 5, Department of Agriculture, Conservation and Forestry, Bureau of Agriculture. I'd like to move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
We'll move to page 6 of the document. Line 89, same Department of ACF, Parks, General Operations. I'd like to move that in.
Second.
Line 89.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
We'll now go to line 129, which is the top of page 9. This is in the Department of Education. I'd like to move that in. Line
Second.
129.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
Now we're on line 36 on the same page, Department of Education, School Finance Operations. I'd like to move that in.
Line 136.
136.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
Line 138, Department of Education, Special Services Team. I move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
We'll move now to the next page, line 155. This is the Department of Administrative and Financial Services, Accident, Sickness, Health, and Insurance. I'd like to move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
Same page, line 163. This is in the Department of Health and Human Services. It deals with Dorothea Dix Psychiatric Center. I move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
Top of the next page, that'd be page 11, line 164, Department of Health and Human Services, Riverview Psychiatric Center. I move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
We'll stay on that same page, line 170, Health and Human Services again, Child Care Services. I'd like to move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
Line 171, Health and Human Services, Homeless Youth Program. I'll move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
Line 172, same department, Mental Health Services for Children. I'd like to move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
We'll go to the next page and we'll begin on line 185. Line 185, 186, 187, and 188. These all are in the Department of Health and Human Services and are connected. They deal with developmental services and foster care, adoption, and mental health services. I'd like to move all of those in.
Second to all four.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
The bottom of that same page in Department of Health and Human Services, line 196, long-term care, Office of Aging and Disability Services. I'd like to move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
We'll now go to line 275, which is on page top of page 17. This is in the Department of Marine Resources, Bureau of Marine Sciences. I move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
We'll go to page 18. Line 301. This is in the Department of Administrative and Financial Services, Risk Management Claims. I'll move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
Line 302, same department, Workmen's Compensation Management Fund. I'd like to move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
The next line item I'd like to do is 307. This is the Office of the Treasurer of the State. And that it's just administration. I'd like to move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
Line 308, Office of the Treasurer. This has to do with administration as well. I move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
Line 311, State Board of Property Tax Review. Like to move that in.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
Madam Chair, that it concludes the work on the MODOC today. Do you have a little bit of language we'd like to handle? It's your pleasure.
Chair. Madam Chair.
Oh, can I have a slide?
Yep.
So we are going to look at language WW. This has to do with establishing the emergency housing fund relief, and we'd like to move it in as amended. And the amendment, I believe, is in front of you, and it establishes a quarterly report back beginning in February of 2022, so that we can learn how this money is being distributed in an organized way. And that'll be a report back to our committee.
It's small correction.
23, did I say 22? My bad. Gosh, that's over, right? February 22 is
They could
gone.
do a retroactive one.
It all blends together, sorry. So I would move in as amended WW.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
Then it's been brought to our attention by our outstanding analyst, Maureen, that we need to do a little bit of cleanup on a couple of line items within language. The first one will be BB on language. This has to do with the ombudsman program for kids. And it relates to a recent LD that was passed, LD 1960. We had voted this in, but now that it's law, we no longer need to do this. And so I make a motion to reconsider this vote.
Second to reconsider.
All those in favor of reconsideration? 13-0.
And then I'd like to make a motion to move it out.
Second.
Just to be clear, because the law is now chaptered, there's some inconsistency with what was in the budget and the law. So that's why we're voting the part of the budget out. So any discussion? All those in favor? 13-0.
Our next issue deals with kind of lines SS, language part SS, but it actually has to do with the change package. We remember way back when we walked through the change package and we took some votes there. This has to do with the veterans home that we were trying to establish money for, but now that has been passed and signed into law as well. So we just need to vote page 34 of the change package out.
The second initiative on page.
The second,
34.
I'm sorry, the second initiative on page 34 of the change package, which relates to the veterans homes.
It provided one-time supplemental payments to the veterans homes that have been included in the LD.
Since we exempted that bill from the table and it's now law, we need to undo what we did prior to
And
the
we,
bill passing.
sorry, my apologies. We had undone the language already. We had not undone
The money.
the money. And the money is on page 34 of the change package. It is not in your MODOC because we'd already done it. So I make a motion to move that out.
I think Representative Millet, did you second?
Second the
Thank
motion to
you.
move out.
Any further questions or discussion? All in favor? 13-0.
That concludes my papers in front of me. Madam
Yes, we
Chair.
do have some other papers in front of us having to do with the Secretary of State. But we're going to hold off on that because we have some feedback from the Secretary of State. So we're going to hold off before we do anything there. And we will revisit that when we have more information. So Maureen, anything else before we conclude for the day?
Not that I know of, but you still have another crack at it. And if I find any.
Oh, we have lots
anything,
more to do.
I will bring it to your attention.
Tomorrow, we're gonna be in session. And then Friday, we have nothing scheduled because not all of us are gonna be here. So we'll be back on mic on Monday. So thank you all and have a good evening.